You had a crush on Victor.
Were you at the one where the table almost broke? Yeah, York.
See how we go.
What's up? You got a cold or something?
Yeah, I've been sick as a pike for the last week or so. And it's just not shifting.
It's not done anything to your voice, though.
It has. It's made me more like Barry White.
It's even deeper.
Which is going to be... It's going to be really tough to play Kay tonight.
Yeah, Morella Foster.
You need to get some voice changing software.
How we doing, Medi? We ready to go?
Yeah, we are good.
Yeah, we're good. All right, welcome everybody. Been a while, 3 weeks. Apologies. Work has been manic. I mean, just stupid. Hopefully it'll calm down for a bit. It'll calm down for a few months and it'll get bad again. So last session, you were asked to investigate the disappearance of one of the many Empire's coaches that took the route between Ubersreich and Altdorf. You jumped on a coach and very quickly that evening. You were obviously asked to go do this job. Basically, given no real choice to think about it for too long. Basically, told there was a coach waiting for you at the bridge house. You jumped on that coach and drove to a place called the Flesh Market. Upon falling asleep at the Flesh Market, some of you took watch, but some of you were also awakened by various things like cowpats and stuff like that being thrown at the tents, creating smell and a bit of confusion.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
People were throwing stones at you and stuff like that, and you engaged them in combat. Elgast accidentally... Well, no, Elgast didn't. Elgast was trying to pull his punches, but one of the thugs accidentally ran onto Elgast's sword, bloodying it in the process. Looked down and apologised to Elgast for making his blade dirty. Equally, the tents, not the tents, the animal stockade, a small fire was set in the bushes in the bottom of the animal, creating a situation where the animals were starting to get fractious and looked like they were going to stampede. But over a course of a few minutes, not too long, you managed to kind of gain a semblance of control. The thugs, or whatever it was that they were attacking, they kind of disappeared into the woodlands to the southeast of the Flesh Market, apart from the one that you killed, obviously. And then I believe between Rembrandt and... Sorry?
You're talking to his mum.
Oh, he's talking to his mum. Between Rembrandt and Ella. And Medi, you got the wrong background.
Yeah, so isn't it?
Between Ella. I'm trying to remember people's names. Ella and Rembrandt, you were able to calm the animals and put the fire out. And I think then, as kind of order was re-established, that was where we left it, from what I can remember, because it was a late night and people were getting tired, including me.
Yeah.
So as the kind of the calm settles back over the Flesh Market, the animals are continuing to bray a little bit and move. You can hear, sort of off map, if you like, a number of people kind of yelling, "Fire, fire!" And you get the sense that people are kind of dazedly waking up from the noise and the sound of the animals and things. Certainly, sort of in the next area over, maybe coming to see what all the fuss is about. But where you are, it's fairly quiet now, or it is quiet apart from yourselves. Most of the other tents appear to be unoccupied.
Zed, in the corner of the animal pen, is that actually still on fire?
No, I can take that off. There we go.
While I remember, we need fortune points for restoring as well.
Yes, you do. Let me... There you go.
Thank you.
Fortune points are restored.
Apart from evil.
Something wrong there. No, Rembrandt's been done.
Oh, awesome.
Rembrandt didn't have any fortune points down anyway, so...
No, but his name came up, so...
I do have a fortune point down, and it hasn't worked.
Okay.
Oh, it says on there, 3's gone to 3. Your name's on there.
I wonder...
Yep, but I've now restored my own fortune point. So
I wonder... So it is working. There's another Rembrandt character sheet that currently has 890 XP with none spent on it. I'm just going to have a look, see if it's allocated to you. No, it's not allocated to anybody. So I'm going to delete that character sheet. And we'll see if that fixes the problem at the end of the session.
Okay. Well, tell you what, if I reduce my fortune point, do you want to restore fortune points again? See
Yeah,
what
sure.
happens. I'm missing from the list.
Yeah, your name's not on the list this time.
Missing off the list. If your name's not on the list, you're not getting in.
And if
Or
you're
if
not wearing the
you're
right shoes, yeah.
Too obvious.
Yeah.
I was thinking it, to be fair.
Yeah, but you had the grace not to say it.
We just got suckered into it.
I'm steadily losing that grace, to be fair.
That's part of being a dad, though.
I think it is, isn't it?
I've got 4 kids, and look at the state of me.
Just start thinking, why not? Why not?
I'll try and figure that out.
Yeah,
Cool.
we've got 6.
Okay.
That's why I've got no hair.
But it's exactly right. You would have had 890 hit points, experience points, not hit points, experience points. So, yeah, for some reason, I don't know why it's not picking you up. I'll have to have a look. Okay. Yeah, so calm kind of starts to, not so much calm, but order starts to get re-established in the camp as you gather your thoughts, calm the animals, check on the horses. Everything seems to be in order.
Did the boss ever come out of his tent during the fight, or did he just stay where... I can't remember his name now, sorry.
Jan
Was coach driver.
the coach driver. No, he stayed where he was. You will have seen him kind of poke his head out at one point, and certainly for those of you who are over here, he'll have poked his head out, seen you in action, and kind of waved, and then ducked back in, and you'd have kind of seen him kind of tighten the toggles on the tent to stop anybody from getting in really easily.
I'm tempted to go and set light to his tent.
I mean, you could.
I could.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of
Yeah,
fellows having some fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's the one with the blunderbuss, isn't he? So maybe you don't want to upset him.
He has a blunderbuss for sure.
I guess we'll drag the body of the thug into the woods.
Leave that for the crows.
Leave that for the crows.
Well, is there
Okay.
anything we can tell from the body, like his
That is a good
manner of
question.
dressing, and what has he got anything on him? Like, I don't know, crossbows.
Hand crossbows that are really concealable, possibly
Right.
spring-loaded,
We did have one as well.
with a
that
training
we,
manual.
that we knocked out. We have got something to question.
Yeah, we did knock one out, didn't we?
Yeah, a bucket of poop over his head.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's right. That's why he was down here. So that's what this guy is. I'm looking at it thinking, why was there a guy down here that was kind of shown as being knocked out, but not, you know. So yeah, you've got a guy with a bucket of poop on his head. It smells a bit.
Let's tie his hands together.
Yeah,
Or
I'll
his
go get
legs.
I'll get my witch hunter hat and my interrogation torturer's tools and go over to him and just see how he reacts when they actually wake him up. Somebody else can interrogate him. I'll just stand there looking really menacing.
Okay. They are generally they appear to be sort of down and out people. They're not wearing any particular armor. Their weapons are notched blades or billy clubs or things like that. They don't have anything of value or anything to kind of really identify who they are, other than they're probably kind of brass status individuals.
Yeah, they were chanting as if they were young Freud, weren't they? Because they
That's
were.
right. Yeah.
That's what they were suggesting in their
Yeah.
taunts.
So you carry the other body out, and then you're going to leave this guy to wake up normally, throw a bucket of cold water on him.
Oh no, I'm going to chuck a bucket of cold water over his head.
Okay, chuck a bucket of cold water on his head.
No, do it over his body, then his head's still smelly.
His eyes kind of flare open suddenly, and he kind of looks around, and you can see that kind of sort of dazed look about him after, somebody that's just been kind of brutally woken from sleep. And it's like, all right.
Oi, shithead. What the fuck was that all about?
Bit of fun.
Burning people alive in their tents is fun now.
Well, yeah, if you're an outdoor lover. You're outdoor lovers, aren't you? You can smell it on you. Smell that shit that is, and that's you.
I mean, technically, shithead.
I think you want to
is
check your hair,
you.
mate. It's definitely you.
He looks and he's like, nah, it's you. It's you. It's you. Yeah, outdoor lovers. Up the
Well,
young droids.
We haven't got any love for anybody.
It's not what I heard. You've been fraternising with the outdoorfers in town, right?
No, we're just going where the money's taking us.
Nah. Yeah, the money will take you right into the hands of the outdoorfers. But no hard feelings, right?
I mean, yes, shithead.
What? Why? It was a bit of fun.
Okay, so you think setting people on fire is fun? That's my job.
I didn't set anybody on fire.
You were setting fire to the corral and heading towards the tents.
Well, a bit of a stampede, bit of fun, right? Animals running around, get you something to do. You don't sleep that way. All good fun.
You got anything better to be
So-
doing with your time?
I want to roll intuition on him.
So
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
you're fostering chaos. You find that fun. Anything to do with chaos is fun, is it?
Is it challenging?
Leading question.
Ooh.
Yeah. Leading question when I'm wearing a witch hunter's outfit.
He kind of looks you up and down, and well, I wouldn't say it's chaos. I would, I'm not a chaos worshipper if that's where you're going with that la-di-da outfit. No, it's just like I lost my job, you see, to some outdoorfers, and ever since, up the young Freuds and all that.
What was your job?
Just
Shithead.
Professional shithead.
But I need to know what professions exist in the brass category. I don't look over that picture because that's far too obvious.
Like a night soil collector.
A night soil.
That's why I can't smell it on himself.
That would be funny, wouldn't it? Is that a profession?
Bring out your night soil.
Let's go
Certainly
with
was.
It was. I'm not sure it's an actual playable professional.
Was a grave digger.
Oh, that would be funny. I'd get him to dig his mate's grave.
Yeah, collect the chamber pots and take them to the tanners. That's a job.
Well, I was a peddler, me. I used to peddle little trinkets. And along came the outdoorfers. They kicked me out of my little spot in town, and without so much as a buy or leave. And the next minute, I'm out of a job.
Which town were you in?
Like,
And
see
you were-
you walking around, talking to la-di-da people, talking to a few of the street people as well. No doubt asking about how you could get some more money out of the la-di-da people.
So you've
Am
been,
I right?
you've been spying on us, is what you're saying.
But you're not exactly hard to spot, are you? I mean, look at her. Long legs over there.
I don't have long legs.
Uh,
That's what.
I've,
That's what
Very
Kay
long
has.
back.
No, Kay's got long legs.
No, I haven't. I'm tiny.
You're the tall one, Ella.
Well, Yeah, but you got a small body.
What, what's your name? And have you
It's the boots, I think. Okay.
have you ever heard the term? There's a fine for that.
The watch. Yeah, well, yeah, my name's Herv.
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 So what's to stop us from just chopping your head off here and now, Herv?
Because,
What can you bring to the party?
as your friend just said, there's a fine for that. And he says with a bit of a sheepish grin.
There's nobody around in the woods to see that happen.
I'm not in the woods. Am I having a camp? Flesh market, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, but have you ever heard the old saying where if somebody gets their head chopped off in the woods and there's nobody there to see it, did it really happen?
Yeah. Making that up, aren't you? Either
Wasn't there a strange noise that happened?
Yeah, it was them.
There was a weird noise.
Yeah, it was them calling to each other.
So either he's very, very good at hiding things, or he's genuinely dumb as the stuff that's on his head. Because
That's the conclusion I came to.
you kind of looking at him and listening to him, he genuinely thinks he was here for a bit of fun.
Whose idea was it to come here and have some fun? Because it's obviously
That was all Rudy. Rudy's idea.
Who the fuck is Rudy?
Rudy?
Who the fuck is Rudy indeed? Rudy.
Did he come into the camp?
Hang on a minute. Rudy was...
As in Rudy the captain?
The captain.
That's what I was thinking as well. Clumpconclude.
Rudy...
Clumpconclude.
Clumpconclude.
Nah, not him. No. This is another Rudy.
Oh.
Just a kid, Rudy, but, you know, he's got a good way about him.
Did he come in the camp as well?
Sorry?
Did he come in the camp as well?
I don't know, I didn't see him. Did you see him? Small lad. About 13, maybe 14. Bit haggard, bit wispy on the chin. You know, it's starting to grow and all that. Thinks himself a bit higher than he is, but is well known amongst the criminal types.
Would I have come across him?
Okay, give me, and Volquin. Give me. Let me have a look.
Ella as well, I would guess. Ella's a thug, criminal.
Ella as well. Yes, actually. Thank you. Give me. I'll look at Ella.
Rembrandt's kind of half listening to this while he's just sort of checking the horses and.
Give me average law local test if you are of a thug background.
I don't have law local.
What do you mean you don't have law local? Give me straight up intelligence, average intelligence test then, please.
Intelligence.
On a 66k, you've never heard of him. Ella, you've never heard of him.
I'm going to re-roll. Hang on, I'm going to re-roll mine.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, Jesus.
I know him.
You do?
And his family.
And so does Volquin.
Yeah.
Ruby is he's a young lad, probably about 13, 14. Rumour has it that he was of the young Freud. He had some background with the young Freuds, although as far as both Kay and Volquin are concerned, you know, you've known of him being on the streets for at least maybe a year, 2 years. So that's way before the young Freuds were kicked out of power. He is pretty well connected for a 13-year-old.
Oh, he's
Very
13.
cynical, 13.
Okay.
Cynical beyond his years. You reckon he's grown up on the streets and in amongst the criminal fraternity for at least the last 2 years since he sort of turned 11. Kay, you had heard that he was working for somebody called Rolf Gucker.
Okay. Do I know who Rolf is?
You don't.
Okay. Okay, all right.
The only thing that you know about Rolf is you heard that he hated Altdorf sympathisers. Hey, that's the lad. That's the lad. Good. So you know him then? A bit all right, isn't he? Pretty good gang leader. Looks after us for sure. Anyway, let's say we just forget about this. You know, I've got shit on my head and places to be, and you've got places to be and not shit on your head. So why don't we just chalk this up as a win to you, and I'll piss off.
Why don't you tell me how to find Rudy and Rolf?
Well, I don't really know how to find Rolf. I just know that Rudy can be found on the street to Ubersreich, you know, down by the docks.
They're all down by the fucking docks in this town, aren't they?
Yeah, well, it's a good place to be because, you know, the stevedores and things, they don't look in the warehouses very often. So, yeah, down the docks.
All right, so who'll be next to your mum?
Say that again, sorry.
No, nothing.
I didn't quite catch what you said. I'm trying to process. It sounded like who's next to your mum, and I'm like, that can't be what she said.
That's exactly
It
what I
was.
said. Thereby implying, said, just so we're really clear about this, that his mum is a filthy prostitute working the dock.
Hey. He just kind of looks at you and, well, so no hard feelings then, yeah? I mean, I didn't set any of you alight. I didn't try and hit any of you. I mean, I tried to throw some shit at you, but that could be washed off in the stream and the buckets and stuff. So that's not really a problem, is it? No need to get your thumb screws out, mate.
Tell me something about Rudy.
Is he really a witch hunter?
I'll unroll the tool case.
Well,
You
the
want to
good
see
thing
me
is,
up close?
I'm not a witch. So, you know, it's torture if you ever go at me because I'm not a witch.
Well, I don't know if I put a pointy hat on you. Maybe a carrot for a nose.
Promoting chaos doesn't have to be a witch.
We could get a very big goose.
Yeah.
Rudy, well, you know, what do you want to know about him? He doesn't have a girlfriend. He's a bit
I
young.
just
Doesn't have
intimidate
a
him.
girlfriend.
What's
I
he
don't know.
interested in? What's he doing on the streets?
Well, right now he's interested in finding out outdoor sympathisers so he can have a bit of fun with them, isn't he? A lot of that going round Ubersreich at the moment, you know. Young Floyd's for the win.
Just for the sake of having some fun. No other motive.
No other motive. Honest. Look, you're a lovely lass. And I don't want to get on the wrong side of you because, you know, you look like you can look after yourself. And I'm clearly out of my depth on my own here. So just let bygones be bygones, please.
I don't trust this fucker at all. There's something
Yeah.
shifty about him.
That's how we tie him to a tree and leave him.
It's
Can I
all
go
right,
to a
Herb.
tree?
She
What
won't hurt you.
Look,
What about the
if it makes you feel better, Mr. Inquisitor, Mr. High and Mighty Hail Sigmar, I will let you tie me to a tree. Come on. He kind of holds his hands out like this.
Like a scene from Monty Python at this point.
Is it?
He's well out of his depth. He knows he's well out of his depth. He's doing everything he can to try and be charming, funny, disarming, just so that you let him go, with little more than shit on his head and maybe a spanking.
Can we send him
No.
off to get a shrubbery?
You could do, if you wanted.
What time is it currently?
It's about 1:45 in the morning.
Are there any
Got a
wild
long
spiders?
journey ahead of us, gents, ladies. Shall we set this one on his way and try and salvage what's left of the rest of the night?
Yeah.
There are occasional patrols here, but not many.
Yeah. Any wild predators like wolves or?
Yeah, there'll be wild predators. Whether they come this close to the flesh market It's hard to tell.
We're just outside of Ubersreich, right?
Yeah, you're about 2 hours outside. Not even that. Hour, a couple of miles, I think, from memory, from the map.
So we could
Doesn't
in
even
theory
look like that.
tie his hands behind his back and then could put some meat over him, then send him out into the woods.
Yeah.
Help time to a tree next to the corpse of his mate.
That is also viable.
We could just let him go. The rest of them have already sodded off, so.
Yeah. I mean, it's very quiet. There's no sounds of breaking twigs or anything like that in the undergrowth around you. It's and the people that came to kind of investigate kind of saw that everything was under control and just muttered and put down buckets and went back to their tents.
I'm assuming that the fella that ran onto Elgath's sword and this guy aren't really armed in any way.
They're clubs.
So maybe have like a pocket knife and a.
Yeah, they've just got general shoddy things that count as basic melee weapons.
Yeah, they're not proper arms then.
No. I know they'll hurt you if they hit you on the head, but they're not armed in comparison to your melee weapons. You know, yours are pristine, well.
These guys aren't killers.
Well, they tried to kill the animals. I say let the animals decide what to do with them.
Come on, that fence wouldn't have kept them animals long if that fire had gone up anymore.
Strictly speaking, Elgast, I don't think that was her intention. Like he said, he was just trying to startle them. So let's give him a kick up the britches, send him on his way.
Hopefully he'll learn his lesson.
Were they trying?
Yeah. I've learned my lesson. I'm going to go back and I'm going to try my hand at peddling again. I'm going to turn a new leaf and I'm not going to get involved with Rudy again.
No more throwing shit. No setting fire to tents or animal pens, and try not to run onto anybody's sword. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Up the young fight.
Whatever you like.
Whatever.
Second
up them all.
What was this dude's name again?
Herv.
How do you spell that?
HERV.
It's like.
Have we just lost Evil? No, there he is.
No,
we lost everyone for a second, then.
Yeah, it's a glitch.
Yeah.
Discord.
He kind of gingerly pushes himself up and kind of gets to his knees and kind of looks around to see if anybody's going to strike him down, and then pushes himself up to his feet and he looks around and takes a couple of steps back, keeps looking at you. Another couple of steps back, keeps looking, turns around and runs as fast as he can towards the woods. And as he hits the wood tree line, you hear him go, "Oh, young boy!" And then there's loads of crashing and twigs breaking, and followed by a distant oof. Bloody trees. And then the noise dissipates as he is obviously legging it through the trees and out the other side and into the distance towards Ubersreich. So,
back to bed for me.
To bed then, I guess.
Yeah.
Flash market's right outside Ubersreich.
correct, yeah.
A couple hours out, yeah.
Well, it's not. It's even that. It's right next door.
For miles, I think.
Yeah, we literally set off, and it was quite late on. So when we set off, so we should just come straight here.
You settle back down in your various tents. Gradually, one by one, each of you fall asleep, apart from those of you who kind of decide to stay watch.
I want to look at the horses.
The horses are fine.
I've already done that.
Rembrandt's looked after his horse in particular. The other horses seem okay as well.
Was it? Did anybody see Rudy?
No.
Did any of us see this little young kid?
As far as you know. About 7 o'clock, you all gradually come to. Jan is already kind of hitching the horses to the wagons, and as you kind of all come to and start thinking about breakfast, is well, we'll be setting off in 30 minutes, everybody. Last night was a bit of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, what was all that about? That happened before with you?
Well, let's just say there are those in Uber's Reich that don't particularly like those who fraternise with the Altdorfs. I think you've
that
got
would
yourselves a bit
be-
of a reputation.
Yeah, but now you'll have a reputation being with us.
Me? Did I get involved in last night's ruckus? No, kept myself to myself. I'm just a messenger boy. I'm just taking you from one place to another. That's my job. Anyway, breakfast. We're ready
Yep.
to go in half an hour.
Let's get some breakfast.
Everything in
Exactly.
order in the camp in the daylight? Nothing particularly out of place, missing?
No, nothing out of place, nothing missing. The bush itself is a little bit scorched. Animals are all back to sort of sleeping or munching away on the grass. You can hear ripples of voices and noises from other parts of the flesh market nearby. Looking around where you are, no, bit of a blood stain on part of the grass, not too far away from one of the tents. But other than that, nothing.
Cool.
Was that one of your guys' tents that we put down? Just remember to pick it
I
up.
think it was Kay's tent.
Yeah.
I got a weird feeling that last night was a distraction from something, and I don't know what.
Distraction from us getting on our way, Ella.
Yeah, well, we're going.
What
It's
if-
miles
but they're-
away, sir.
Yeah, but
Sooner away, the better.
what if they're trying to stop us from getting there?
They do a very good job.
Well, standing around here this isn't going to help us get where we're going.
No, it's like he says, isn't it? It makes us a bit more tired during the day.
Out of character, wouldn't the coach driver check his coach and horses and stuff every
Yeah.
time
Yeah,
in the morning?
he does.
Right. So,
Always does a walk around the coach. Always checks over the horses. He brushes them down most evenings. I mean, technically, he doesn't. You don't usually stop at these places. You would normally stop at coach inns where you'll have somebody who will look after your coach and look after the horses. The coach driver will go get pissed, usually very pissed. Leave you to it for the night, and then he'll stagger up in the morning at some point, take the coach on to the next point in the journey.
so why did we stop at the slaughterhouses then instead?
Because it was late, and you don't travel long distances overnight because you are at risk of goblin, orc, gore attack, beastmen attacks.
Can I have my character look around the coach myself as well?
Sure.
What's got you being the bonnet about the coach?
We never saw that kid, and the other guys were just throwing
I
shit.
think he's stowing away in the cart or something?
No, I think he might. I don't know. Maybe punctured a wheel. Oh well, actually they don't
That's
know.
Wheels
about
are
that.
wood.
Wheels are not
Don't have
rubber with
cars,
Aaron, mate.
Yeah.
Witchcraft.
I don't know. It just feels weird.
Yeah, it'd be impressive to make a flat tire out of one of these.
Well, yeah, it would be ideal if we could get some flat tires on them.
Yeah.
Problem is, they're all bumpy.
Yeah, 'cause
Bloody car rides.
I don't know.
So what they need is a spring under each wheel.
Yeah,
All over the show. I've seen some of them richer carriages with things on.
Yeah.
Just put a cushion on the bench.
So, just a question: can you see the map?
I can
Yes,
see
nice
a 1 to 12 map to Altdorf. It's quite a nice map as well.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's the journey that effectively your coach will be taking, and clearly each of those marks on the map are stopping points.
So we are avoiding Jettenberg. We're going
AKA
round.
encounters.
And yeah, also known as, yes, encounters. So
Opportunities to find beer.
generally,
Each of this is a day travel, is it?
no, it's 14 stages with nightly stays at coaching inns. Technically speaking, I think it's 7 days travel.
Did you need me to roll for that? Looking around the coach, or was that just
By all means, give me a
Me-
roll, Bart.
me being
If it
paranoid?
makes you feel happy, give me a roll.
This is where Dart finds Ruddy.
A challenging perception test, please.
Good. Where's perception? Challenging.
Yep.
Well, whatever I was looking for, I didn't find.
As far as your eyes tell you, the coach is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. The wheels look okay. A little bit, you know, the tread on the wheels, because they are, although they're wooden, and there is a bit of a spring there. You know, the coach in the light of day looks serviceable. It's just a typical one of the coaches that ply the route between Ubersreich, Bogenhaven, and Altdorf. So, yeah.
There.
You're Colin. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you. So you can at a squeeze get 6 people in the coach. 3 each side.
I'm going to sit on top of him.
Yeah, one of you was riding shotgun,
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, I'll ride shotgun with my eyesight.
Okay.
Yeah, and Rembrandt's riding his horse. So that's plenty of room.
And I was riding Rembrandt, right? Oh, no, wait, hang on.
Awesome.
Well, that was until we got interrupted last night, yeah.
I just needed some warmth.
So well, actually, you're not quite there. So technically, it's about here, really. You set off.
We've got a little coach. Cool.
Set off pretty much after breakfast, a little bit later than 8 o'clock, but you set off. The journey is at a fairly it's not at a slow pace. It's not at a gallop, of course, but it is at a fairly brisk pace, and you travel along the road, taking the sights in. For some of you, this is probably the first time you've been any distance away from Ubersreich. Some of others of you may have not been brought up in Ubersreich, so it may not be, it may not be such a surprise or such an interest to you as you travel further northwards towards Altdorf. To get kind of a sense of the pace and a sense of the distance, a sense of the journey, it's roughly about sort of 10 hours as you approach Geisbach, and you see Jan kind of pulls you up into into one of the coaching, or into a coaching house just on the outskirts of Geisbach called the Halfway House. And he sort of says, "Well, this is as far as we go today, ladies and gents. I will see you in the morning. I'm going to get pissed." And he kind of jumps down, and you see a smallish lad, maybe a mid sort of teenage lad, come running over and grabs the horses by the reins and starts to take them towards the what appears to be an area where there are a couple of other coaches and several other horses kind of stabled. You all jump out, and you kind of left standing looking at this kind of inn.
What are we doing? Ale and bacon, or?
Aye. Ale, food, and a warm bed, I think. And let's get that
a
bed before
Is
he
this
says.
just a coaching inn, or is this a town?
It's a halfway house coaching inn on the edge of the town,
Okay.
the town of Geisbach.
Is it town far?
No, you're on the edge of it. 2-minute, 5-minute walk into town.
Go into town, or we could go into the inn.
No, let's get rooms sorted out first. I don't want to come back and find there aren't any. Are there any guards at this coaching? Any private guards or?
This coaching is it's not a particularly because it's attached to the sort of the village. It's not really heavily fortified.
Gotcha.
So there
Oh,
will be a
okay.
couple of guards. There always are a couple of guards, but it's not walled. Inside, it's tidy, fairly plain, but the tables seem to be clean and cleared. The patrons mostly seem to be travellers rather than maybe local townsfolk. The innkeeper is a fairly is on the more rotund side with quite ruddy cheeks, very happy smile about him, and he's welcome, more visitors. Welcome, guests staying overnight. Are we on the coach?
Indeed we are, but we're not staying on the coach. We're hoping you got a room for us.
No, I know you're anyway. How many of you?
We're 6.
6. Private rooms, common room. What do you want?
Have you got a private room that suits 6?
Don't have a private room that suits 6. No, I've got a private room that can do 2 of you at a time, although it will be in the same bed.
Well, I know 2 of us that won't mind that.
Well, that's not for me to comment on.
Are you casting aspersions?
I'm not casting anything. I'm no witch.
I think you're making assumptions.
I don't mind sharing with Kay.
There you go.
He's been desperate to do that since we started D&D.
Yeah.
Okay, Kate can either sleep in the armchair or on the floor.
Yeah, I think common room's going to be the thing. Is there
Well,
a comfy chair kicking around?
Common room is 10d each a night. Private room is 10 shillings a night. So your choice.
Oh, that's going to be common room, isn't it?
Yeah. Is the carriage itself guarded? With it being a coach house type thing?
Yes. So the guards, the private guards, the couple of guards that are here are more for the safety and protection of the coaches and the horses than the patrons in the coach house.
That's fine. I was going to say, nobody's guarding the carriage. I'd stayed in the carriage, but if there's guards for it, I'll sleep in the common room.
Yeah.
Is this like a typical kind of, just different, like, train companies and bus companies? Would there be different companies for?
There are different coach companies, yes. There are. So you are, I'll just get this right. You are on a
Four Seasons, isn't it?
Travel lodge.
travel lodge.
We've got Four Season coaches and Imperial Express.
Yes, Imperial Expressways is the one that's gone missing.
Where'd you get that information?
The other week.
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't write anything down.
No, you're on a Cannonball Express coach.
Right. Okay.
Four Seasons is another coach, and Imperial Expressways is a different brand of coach. So you've got Cannonball Express, Four Seasons, and
Four Seasons was a bridge house, wasn't it?
Yes, and Imperial Expressways, and there might be a fourth one.
So the coach houses are tied to the different coach
Correct.
companies, aren't they? So which one is this?
Good question. And it doesn't bloody tell me, does it? Let's do a roll of the dice and see. Four Seasons. So typically what that means is Four Seasons would get preferential treatment, but the others would then pay slightly more money. This one appears to be Four Seasons. Let's do a note of that.
So the fee that we pay for the trip doesn't account doesn't go towards accommodation at
Doesn't
coach
go
houses
to your
either.
private accommodation. No, it goes to your journey and the costs that the coach company pays for the privilege of parking and staying at coach houses, coaching inns. Correct.
Unless you want to sleep
That's
in the
fine.
coach.
Yeah, I'm going to hand over my tendy.
Yeah, so I'm going to find a corner of a common room.
Yeah, the common room is pretty quiet. There are a couple of other people in here, but there are beds that each of you can have in this common room. Just think of it a big, large, open area, probably directly above the downstairs common room. The sleeping common room upstairs is probably the same kind of size. Instead of it being tables and chairs, it's probably more like single beds and double beds and bunk beds. There's maybe even, in some instances, bits of curtain that can be pulled across to provide some kind of privacy, but it's very open and it's very, you can hear the drunkards and people singing and stuff. It's like, but you get a decorum of privacy to a degree. Most people won't bother you unless you invite them to bother you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm going to go straight to a single bed and dump my stuff and mark my territory.
Yeah.
And
I would probably say they have. Let's have a look.
Or
Is
a
it
bunk
beds
bed.
or is it bedrolls, bunk beds? What's
No, there'll be a mixture of single beds, double beds, and bunk beds. There's probably a couple of double beds, a significant proportion of bunk beds, and a few single beds.
I'll find one of the bunk beds over on the side and take the bottom bunk.
Yeah.
And
I'll
I
take
will
the top.
very deliberately take a different bunk bed from Rembrandt.
I think each bed at the bottom has a footlocker with a key, but as far as you can tell, they all look pretty similar. So, lose one key, you suspect you can get into the majority of these footlockers with that key if you really wanted to. The sense is not more for, it conveys a sense of security and privacy more so than giving you real security and privacy.
Zed, sorry, how much was the room? Was it 10 or 1?
10D.
10, okay. So I want to spend, before I go to hit the sack, I want to just spend a bit of time walking around the room. I'll take my hip flask and I want to see if I can talk to anybody. I don't want to be intrusive, but just kind of join them for a drink or just kind of mingle and just pick up anything that people are talking about.
No worries.
But if people don't look friendly, then I'm not going to insist or anything like that.
Well, at this point, it's probably only about 6:30 in the evening. So most people are not here. Most people are downstairs in the common room drinking and eating. There's probably a couple of people. Let's have a look.
I can head down to the common room and do it down then if that's easier.
But yeah, I mean, I presume there's a few hours of the evening crowd and then things quieten down.
So there's a halfling that's staying up here. Has the top of one of the bunks. A male halfling, mutton chop, sort of beard. Yeah, mutton chop kind of. Yeah, beard. Fairly well dressed. A nice sort of brown rustic waistcoat with a crisp white shirt underneath. Maybe even a bit of a ruffle collar. A small purpley coloured handkerchief that sits in the top of his pocket, and very, very, very well manicured and very well kept. And he's the person on the underneath is a youngish human woman, and they obviously know each other, but you don't get the sense that they're romantically involved, but they're just either travelling companions and have been travelling a while, business associates, or perhaps just friends on the road together.
Oh, I'm going to have to go and speak to the halfling then. Totally
Hello,
ignore
Matt.
woman. Go straight to the halfling, ignoring woman. You're a bit too well dressed to be here, aren't you, sir?
Well, thank you for noticing. You like the waistcoat, do you?
I do.
Truckwin Carafella at your pleasure.
I'm sorry, say that again, Zed.
Twin Carafella.
Okay. And what brings you here tonight? Where are you off to?
Off down to Ubersreich.
It's a bit of a mess there at the moment. What's your business down there?
Well, I was trading in spices and herbs, but bit of a mess, you say.
No.
I'd
Outdoor.
heard rumours.
Young Freud. It's a mess
Young
between
Freud.
the two.
Yeah, I'd heard that the Young Freuds had been kicked out and that the Altdorf army had moved in. Is it still bad?
No, it's not ideal. Who are you there to see? Who's your contact?
Didn't really have one. I just thought I'd go in and just try my luck, see if I could get a couple of contracts together. Know anybody that I could contact? You from there?
It's funny you should say that. And this is where I'm frantically looking through my list of names and notes to try and figure out who to put them in touch with. It's exactly what I want to do, though. Oh, God.
Poor quality room and board costs half the listed price. This isn't poor quality. Fine quality costs double the listed price. Consuming poor quality food or drink comes with a D100 10% chance of exposure to the galloping trots.
Oh, lovely.
Lovely.
So you know what would happen if Volquin stayed in one of those rooms?
Oh, yeah.
Question Nobrok, I think.
Galloping trots, but yeah.
All right, so here's what I'll do. Okay, so best advice I can give you. If you want to go down the genuine route, ignore the watch, get away from them, keep away from them. Totally corrupt. They'll fine you for anything. Go and see Edith Ferrig. She's a beggar in the marketplace and very well connected. She can put you in touch with the right people. If you want to be a little bit more shady, see if you can find Dieter McMyer. He's very well connected with some people there. Not necessarily the most honest of people, though.
I wish I was writing all this down. I've got notes scattered all over bits of paper, and
Okay.
I need to translate it into a proper notebook. So I've got all this myself.
Okay, so very quickly, Edith Ferrig. She was the first beggar.
I know who Edith is. Yeah.
Yeah. Dieter McMyer is a fence working for the Baron, who is now a contact for me.
That's right.
That's the one you were going to sell the bombs to, right?
Yes.
Now, which bombs would those be?
Allegedly.
I have no idea. I'm totally unaware of it, but I was just trying to remember my own.
The ones that helped to redecorate Thomas all over the ceiling.
Yes.
Okay. Well, your beggar friend sounds a bit weird, but you're
No, she's a good lass. She'll point you in the right direction. Just tell her that Kay sent you.
Miss Kay. Well, you're very generous with your advice. May I be so bold as to ask what your expectation from the deal would be? Because clearly you're not going to give me these names and not have something come back your way.
No, I'd be looking for a cut, obviously.
Of course.
I think we're looking a good 15% here.
15%. I'm going to say persuasion, but I don't know if persuasion exists.
No.
Charm test, please. What is your status?
I can be pretty fucking charming. What, an average one?
Yes. No, challenging, please.
Bollocks.
Reroll it.
No, that's so close. Look at your... Jesus.
Yeah, reroll, do a challenging, please, because it's going to be opposed.
And he's obviously attracted to me, right?
Oh. No, the halfling.
Yeah, but she's only short.
She's still very tall for a halfling.
I'm tempted to boost that by another one and use another, point.
Okay. It's going to be... He's going to be there. First, he goes, 1 second. And he kind of flops onto his stomach and leans over the bunk bed, and he kind of says, "Cordelia, 15%. Is that something we can do for this lovely lady for her advice?" And you see the woman she was kind of lounging on the bottom bed, probably with a small pocket knife, kind of picking away at her nails and kind of cleaning her nails, and she kind of goes, and she kind of puts the knife down, reaches to a small satchel by her side and pulls out a little book, and she flicks through it and she says, "Could stretch to 15. Yes. So,
Well, that sounds like a deal to
how
me.
am I going to get the money to you? Because obviously I don't have the money on me today. I've just got the goods, and I definitely don't want to put myself at a disservice of yours."
I think you could leave it with Edith Ferrig and give her a tip from the 15%. Tell her that I'll come looking for her with my friends afterwards to collect.
Oh, you're very, very
Trusting.
you are very trusting.
I will also have a lot of friends.
And he sits and kind of dangles his legs over, and he kind of, typical size bunk bed. So you're probably your head is maybe, and your shoulders are just above the level of the bunk bed. And he kind of looks down and he nods and he kind of holds out his hand as if to shake it.
I'm definitely going to, spit on the hand and shake it, obviously.
Yeah, okay.
What were they trading in? I can't even bloody remember.
Herbs and spices.
Herbs and spices, yes.
So
Okay.
you've got Trutwin, Trutwin, Carofella, so Karofell.
You're going way too quick for me to write any of that down.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, who's that?
Trutwin is the halfling.
Trutwin? Okay.
Yeah. And his female companion, you can't quite work out who she is, what the relationship is called Cordelia.
Cordelia.
And yes, the system generates those names for me.
I like Cordelia. It's a great name.
She is more, I would say she's more dressed like Ella. She doesn't hide her feminism, but she is wearing like a leather jack. She's probably got a pair of leather gloves on the side of the bed. And I think if you look a bit, you look a little harder, you'll see that the foot, actually to the other side of her nearest the wall, because they've got a bunk bed up against near one of the corners of the room, you'll see that there is a sort of a sword just tucked underneath the covers. You can just see the hilt poking out. So she appears to be certainly his muscle, but also maybe a business partner of some kind.
Well, you had to check with her.
Make a note that you will have 3 gold crowns and you will have 3 gold crowns and 7 shillings waiting for you in Ubersreich with Edith.
Yep, got it.
And that does include her taking her tip out of that.
Okay, cool.
The rest of you doing that conversation is probably going to take 5-10 minutes of Kay kind of just canvassing the room, spotting the halfling who does stand out a little bit and going to have a conversation.
Well, I'm going to be just getting some food, whatever's there, and just a nail around the table, sitting down and just catching up on my feeding.
Yeah, probably the same.
Rembrandt was just probably stirring some gear, half listening to the conversation Kay was having.
No worries. So those of you who go downstairs while Kay's having the conversation. As you kind of come down the stairs from the common room upstairs down into the common room downstairs, you notice that Jan is sat at a table and seems to be in an argument with a woman dressed in worn green leather travelling gear, long tresses of untidy, curly but fair hair. Appears to be youthful looking with a rather pinched snub nose. And you can see it's kind of got a large brownish, dark brown wen on her nose. And she's kind of jabbing a finger at him and kind of saying something. And as you kind of come down, you kind of just catch that end of that happening, and you can see Jan shaking his head quite furiously. At that point, the woman kind of puffs, shakes her head, turns, and kind of starts to head towards the exit.
Also, when?
Problems, Jan?
Does she
A
look,
boil or other swelling or growth on the skin.
Okay.
does she look, how old is she compared to Jan?
Jan is quite an old man. He's probably in his late 40s, early 50s. She looks to be in her early to late 20s.
Any family resemblance?
Doesn't give me a perception check. Challenging.
No chance with that roll.
I can't see your roll. I can only see Kay's roll.
100.
Yeah, there is no family resemblance whatsoever.
Yeah. I just watch her go and watch the exchange between them to see what kind of reactions happen. That's about it.
Jan just kind of watches her for a few moments and then just goes back to kind of drinking.
Okay.
And you watch as she disappears outside.
I'm going to go up to Jan with me plate of food in my hand and my ale, plonk myself opposite him. Problems there, Jan? You seem to be quite animated in that discussion.
Oh, it was nothing. Don't worry about it. She just thought I knew someone she knew. Yeah, she was mistaken. Never heard of him.
I thought it might be family problems.
No, she's nothing to do with me. Takes a long drag of ale and continues to kind of eat his food.
So, who did she think you were?
I don't know. I don't know.
Didn't she give you a name?
It was just some halfling or other. Never heard of him.
What? Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah, she thought you knew somebody she might know.
That's right. Yeah, she thought I knew somebody that she might know.
Ah, an halfling.
Yeah. I mean, I stop off here. This is one of my regular stops, so it's not an uncommon thing to ask me. But no, didn't know him. Never heard of him.
She seemed quite upset though, didn't she?
She did. Poor lass.
I take it she might have been bamboozled by somebody. Hoodwinked.
He kind of just shrugs.
Yeah. Well, you enjoy the rest of your evening, Jan. We'll see you bright and breezy in the morning.
Oh, but you'll see me breezy. I don't know you'll see me bright, if you know what I mean.
I'll give him a slap on the shoulder and go to another table to eat my food.
Yeah. Well, have a good evening, and like I say, I'll like you say, I'll see you in the morning.
When Jan goes away, I want to talk to the woman.
Jan won't go away. He's staying. She's gone outside.
Oh.
I was just going to say after Rembrandt's finished stirring his gear, he'll start heading downstairs, and he'll just say, "See you down there, Kay."
I'll go outside and ask the lady
I'll be down.
what she knows of Jan.
She seems to be fussing over a donkey that's currently kind of penned with the horses and things, and she's untying a bunch of sort of clattering bags and bundles of pots and pans, muttering her way to herself.
I'm gonna ask her. I'm just gonna say hello. You were talking to that coach driver like you knew him.
No, nothing to worry about. Just a case of mistaken identity. That's all. Thought it was somebody I knew.
Well, who do you think he was? No, wait. Who? You thought he knew you? What, like a mistaken identity kind of thing?
Well, that's what it seems like. Yeah.
So who do you think he was then?
Give me a hard gossip test.
Oh, okay. Wasn't expecting that.
You can do it, Ella.
I'm not the one who does the gossip stuff, though. Okay, that's terrible.
Physical failure.
Do you want to re-roll that, or do you want to just accept the failure?
I'll re-roll it.
Okay.
Still is bad.
She kind of looks at you and she sort of says, "Look, no one. It was my mistake. Don't worry yourself about it. Yeah. Anyway, I've got things to do." And she kind of starts deliberately making the pans and the pots clang together so that you can't have any kind of conversation with her. She clearly wants you to leave her alone.
Okay, I'll just walk away then.
Evelyn, Lamlin, anything going on?
No, I'm just enjoying this fine. Well, when I say fine food, this food and this ale. Looks like Yana Coachman's had a bit of a talking of a young lady. She seemed to think he knew some halfling.
Oh, what? Fella upstairs, or?
Well, he didn't say. He just said mistaken identity. But it seemed a bit more than that. It seemed a little bit heated. But it's Jan's business.
I hope it doesn't give us any bother. Did anyone ask him about her?
Well, I did, but he wasn't forthcoming. Like I say, he said it was. She was asking if he knew a halfling. I do think it was more like she recognised him, but
Maybe it's after he's had a, well, looks like he's already had a drink or two.
yeah, maybe wait a bit more. He's got a good constitution, as that Jan.
He will do if he drinks like that every night.
Yeah. Well, if it's on the work.
Where's this last then?
Oh shoot, she went outside. I'm not sure if Ella went to go see her, but worth have a go. Maybe if you see her, see what you can find out. I'll save your seat for you. Now bugger off.
And that was me going to buy you an ale. Never mind it.
All right.
I'll keep an eye out and see if this woman ever turns up again, based on Landwin's vague description.
Vague.
Okay. The evening passes. She doesn't appear.
Does Ella appear?
Ella will appear.
What?
Troy comes back in not long after you kind of sit back down. You sit down after chatting to Lanwin. Maybe sort of 2 or 3 minutes after that, she comes back in. Then maybe another 10 minutes later, Kay comes downstairs with a bit of a smile and a bit of a swagger with a hip flask in the hand. And you all find yourself kind of sitting around 2 tables that you push together rudely, like you do in these places when you're a big group of people. Rearrange the furniture for the barman.
Made some new friends, Kay?
Oh, always good to chat with people, see what's going on.
Yeah, definitely.
Reminds me, we must get back to Ubersreich at some point one day.
Oh, they headed that way, aren't they?
Yeah, they got some things to trade.
Oh, well, wartime's usually good business for merchants.
Yeah, I'll put them in touch with the right people. Maybe there'll be something in it for us when we get back.
Should you be drinking while working?
I think that's how I work.
That is absolutely how she works. You
But,
would know that, to be fair, Ella.
I am steadily working on my consume alcohol skills.
I was going to say that she's always
How do I-
working as well, so.
Absolutely spot on idea, that. Did they mention any trouble further north?
Did I ask? I don't think I even fucking asked, did I?
No.
I was going to ask and I didn't in the end. Not a clue. No. Too busy talking about other business opportunities.
Fair enough. Can't have been so bad if a couple of halflings have made their way in.
I did actually mean to ask that. That's why I went there to talk to them.
I was trying to think of a point where I could interject and ask, and I just thought, no, I better leave you to do what you're doing.
I think it's right that she got distracted by a business opportunity.
Yeah. Well, the evening passes beyond those little bit of snippets. The evening passes quietly. Few people come, few people go. You get the sense that very few locals kind of use this place. Though some locals that appear to be farmers do kind of take up a table, but it's a quiet place. The night passes, you settle down in your room. I was going to say rooms, but in the room. There's maybe, apart from yourselves, the halfling and Trutwin and Cordelia, there's maybe 3 or 4 other people in here. Would appear to be part of a host season. Host seasons? 4 seasons.
I want to know what the other one is.
4 seasons. Let's take a 10-minute break.
Ooh.
I want to get to the truck stop or the coach stop that's like seasonal
stop.
hose. That's better than hose season, seasonal hose.
Yeah.
Good time for a whiskey.
Zed, this isn't necessarily a question for now, but at some point,
No. I'll let you. Oh.
Time is we could be really simple, right? So you could make a gossip test. If your gossip test succeeds, we can figure out by how much. And if it's if it's just a low success, like a couple of success levels, then I can basically say, you make contact with such and such a person, right? However, you discover there's no business opportunity, but it's a contact for future. Or if it's a really good success, maybe we can play it out.
okay, all right, yeah, that works.
I know what you mean. And part of your character being a board is to put people in contact with other people and be that middle person to make a little bit of coin. So, yeah, why would you would do that all the time wherever you're going?
Yeah, I
Sure.
mean, Kay always wants to make a buck, but I think she's super interested in building a network as well.
Yeah.
There was a big
Yeah, I
patch. I've
saw
not
that. It was
downloaded it
14
yet.
gigabytes.
Fantastic.
16 gig, yeah.
Well, next Wednesday I get fibre to the premises, so I might wait till then. Oh no, I've got to download it before Sunday. Bugger.
Yeah. Nice. They've put everything up on all the poles, and I was chatting to the guy the other day about how he would be able to run it from the pole to my house, and he said, "Yeah, that's not a problem. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. It's not like we're going to stop at your neighbour and not be able to deliver it to you." I'm like, "Thank for that." They're just waiting for a new spine to be put in, and until the spine's put in, they can't obviously put us up for activation. And I have heard that might not happen until January, February. So,
Well, at least
At least
it's
coming
there.
though. Yeah.
it'll be here in 6 months. That's what I'm looking at. And happy days at that point. 900 meg to the house.
But it's so frustrating because the box outside across the road from my house has it, but the company that was doing it went bust.
Uh-huh.
So
Kingston, Kingston Telecom, Jet.
yeah, Kingston Communications can't beat it.
KCOM.
Uh-huh.
K-Com. I bet they've got like better than gig to the house, haven't they?
Well, the cabinets aren't
No.
being used anymore. They're going to be decommissioning the cabinets. The cabinets aren't anything to do with the fibre to the premises anymore. I was chatting with the guy that was upgrading the poles and things, and
Yeah.
they don't mean anything because it's for the copper. So
Yeah, they just replaced all the poles out there now and getting rid of all the old wires, which is why the village that I delivered to, a little village in the middle of nowhere, has fibre. And I'm like, you bastards.
Yeah. Well, I'm in a village in Wales and I'm going to be getting 944 meg next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Ah,
Nice.
I got fibre put into my place. First time I've ever had fibre, actually. I was still on some kind of weird cable hybrid before. It makes a difference.
see,
I
yeah,
was
well,
with another company that we got a letter through, completely different company, and I forget what their name is now, that are supposed to be coming to, activating where we live. And I'm like, happy days. And they've done one half of the road, but they haven't come to us and down. So I'm waiting to see if different boxes, and it may be, and I think the box that we're all connected to just isn't suitable. That's why they're waiting for this new spine to go in. But they offer for actually not a horrendous price, something like, I want to say 150 quid a month, 8 gig to the house.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Me, what do you need that for?
And I'm like,
You know.
Porn.
let's have 8 gig. Do you think I could get away with it? And then I'm like, what do I need 8 gig for? Because quite frankly, I'm on Cat 5 in the house, which caps me out at a gig, and I've only got a 100 gig switch, so 8 gig would be pointless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd choke.
But 2 gig would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I miss my house in York because, God, when EverQuest came out, I was on cable then. It was cable and wireless. So, which was fantastic.
Home highway, baby.
When TalkTalk and Sky were rolling out fibre, initially York was one of the test locations. So
Yeah,
they're rolling it out there first.
Yeah, that's because cable and wireless has already done it, you see, with NTL cable and what,
Yeah.
and that was
Yeah.
great.
My dad jumped on NTL as soon as it came out in the area.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Then Virgin
we've
took
got
it
no
over.
cable here.
All right. Are we back?
We are back.
It's just back. He's the only person we never know whether he's back or not.
Yeah, it's back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Ah, there we go.
You didn't
Yeah,
go
so it's
anywhere.
back.
I'm just enjoying a whiskey, so I'm all right.
Oh, he did.
He leaned down. He got his whiskey. I've got this whiskey I've been nursing. I've got this funny Scottish stuff called Barrow.
Oh, yes.
Remember that?
I'm not going to pronounce that, I tell you.
What are you on tonight, Jet?
McAllen.
Nice. So I'm trying to get. I want to get a Jameson's Red Breast.
I need to get that before Lisa comes out of hospital.
That's not Jameson's. Redbreast is a Corkonian distillery. It was just outside Cork.
That's Jameson's Redbreast, yeah.
It is Jameson's.
Is it a Jameson's?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realise that. Our customer service team used to be based over in Cork, so I used to come back with a bottle of 12-year Redbreast every time. And
Nice.
one time I decided to get a 21-year-old, and it was
Wow.
250 euros, and it was fucking amazing.
Well,
One of the best
that's what
whiskies
I'm
ever.
aiming for.
Yeah.
Wait, you
Yeah.
paid for a 21-year-old?
Absolutely.
Whiskey.
Yes.
Paying for a 21-year-old. Once in your life.
When you
Euros,
get
one
to
night.
that age, you have to.
Fuck you, Dave, by the way.
And Dart, it is fucking amazing when you have a
I was-
21-year-old.
I said this age, I included myself, guy. Don't you worry.
So, you mean the whiskey was 21 years old?
Yes.
Yes.
That is one of the best lines. Just another one of Dart's classic lines that
Rob.
appears throughout the seasons. All right, you wake the following morning, bright. Did anybody decide to get pissed, or were you just taking it easy?
We're on a coach, taking it easy.
Take it easy, yeah.
I've done this road a few times. I would have thought we were messing drinks. I'm just gonna. I know not to drink on it.
Yeah.
He's probably got a hangover. She's trying to raise her consume alcohol skill.
You
I'm in training.
you come downstairs just after 7. Breakfast. Plates of hot meats and cheeses and freshly cooked breads. Smells are gorgeous. Breakfast ale for those of you who want breakfast ale, or pictures of water if you're a bit boring. Goat's
No,
milk.
I'll take the potable stuff, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat as much food as I can.
About 5 to 8, Jan comes down, matchsticks in his eyes, kind of swaying a little bit, and blunderbuss on his shoulder, and he's like, well, see you ready. I'll have me some breakfast and we'll be going in, and he squints for a second. Oh, fuck it. When I'm ready.
Rembrandt's kind of keeping his head out of the blunderbuss's angle, saying, is that still loaded, Jan?
Yeah, I'm making sure I'm not standing behind him.
He props her down gingerly and plonks at another table and starts tucking into food. And it takes a little bit of while, but not as long as you were expecting. So probably sort of 40 minutes or so later. So we get to about, I don't know, 8:30, 8:45 in the morning, when he finally kind of daggers out, bit bleary, kind of blinks at the early morning sun. Well, it's summer, so the summer sun, and goes, the wagon's already ready for him, and he kind of climbs, hoists himself up, and he says, well, let's go onwards. Next stop, the 5 Oaks. Shall we? And he kind of clicks the reins and you head off. The journey to the 5 Oaks is pretty straightforward. Again, about 10 or so hours in the saddle, in the seat. Through various... There's me trying to actually follow the line on here as I'm moving it. Not that you can see that, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see your pointer.
The journey is... again, the journey is uneventful. It takes you along the road, takes you to the 5 Oaks. The 5 Oaks sits just outside, just to the south of the small town of Ort. This one is a fortified coaching house, thicker walls. You notice that there are several wooden defences have been built around some of the external walls that show scorch marks and damage marks. And there seems to be there is certainly a heavier presence of guards on the wall and around the inside as you kind of come galloping in, and Jan reins in the horses. And again, horses are whisked off. Jan kind of, see you in the morning, same kind of time, and he heads inside.
So who's running this one?
Hold on, who's running this one? You know, it doesn't tell me.
Okay, so it's obviously not important. I've been making a note of them just in case there's a link for.
Let me make a roll and I will tell you. Nope, wrong dice. Can't interpret that.
You all died.
This one is the Imperial Expressway.
Oh, seems to be getting a little more dangerous the further north we get from Nubersrack. At least we've got some stout walls.
Yeah, the fact that there's burn marks on it is what the hell's caused that?
Beastmen.
But yeah, exactly. And as you kind of both have that conversation, one of the guards kind of walking by goes, "Beastman. Bloody things attacked out of the woods 2 nights ago."
How often does that happen?
Often enough, I'd say.
A couple of times a week, on average. Sometimes more, sometimes less.
So possibly even tonight then. Wonderful.
Do they ever bother coaches? Do they bother travellers on the road?
We would if we were out at night.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Take it they're just raiding.
And he kind of looks up at the sun and close up in 10 minutes. And one of the guys goes, "Aye, Sergeant."
Is it only night they attack?
Mostly.
I like it.
Well,
you knew that was going to come.
Oh yeah.
We best be getting in then.
Aye.
Are these guards mercenaries? Are they?
They are typically employed by the coaching house, but they are mercenaries in the coaching house's employ.
Yeah.
Pretty good weapons, pretty good armor, a mixture of sort of chain and leather, as far as you can see. Most of them have a bow or a crossbow and spears or swords and shields.
So I take it they might be members of a proper mercenary company, but obviously no wars going on right now. So
correct. There appears to be in total around this that you can make out, Rembrandt, obviously being the more militaristic of the group. There's probably 8, total of 8 of these guards, which is not a huge number, but certainly enough to make anything other than a determined band of beastmen flee after first engagement, especially since they're behind the wall and they obviously have bows. And you can see here and there'd probably be bushels of arrows stacked here and there just to be on.
A few extra spears and yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
You lot not been pulled down to the south? No, it's a bit quiet at the minute, but
yeah, no, not in the pay of the Altdorf at the moment. The coaching company gives us fair money for fair work. Obviously, if the Altdorfs decide that they want a few extra swords and they can pay a little bit more, then you know how mercenary work goes, right?
I do. I've done a fair spot myself.
Aye. Well, hopefully you can enjoy some ale and some good food. The food here is good. A little bit on the expensive side, but it's good.
Well, give us a shout if you need a hand.
Well done. Now, here's a question. Give me a leadership role.
Ooh, to whom?
Edmund.
Difficulty?
Just challenging.
Challenging. There we go. Not quite, I think.
Okay. He finds himself half saluting you in the Altdorf style, then realizes that you're not his you're not his captain, and he kind of stops himself and shakes his head as he walks off. Had you succeeded, he would have crisply saluted you and then wondered what he was doing.
Nice.
I just give him a slight right smile and a nod.
And he kind of he looks a little bit embarrassed and then nods and carries on. Pleasant. Again, probably costs you a silver for the common room. Probably closer to 12 or 13 silver for individual rooms. The meals are good. Probably a little bit higher quality than the previous place that you stayed at. The ale is good. Glancing around this place, most people are keeping themselves very much to themselves. There is that slight tension in the air. But you often get that with these more fortified coaching houses, especially ones that show sign of recent attack. And so, Kay, this evening, your conversations generally fall on uninterested or unwilling to kind of communicate people. You try, like you always do, but you get more grunts than any kind of engage. And after speaking to 2 or 3 people, you just kind of go, this is too much like hard work here. I'm not going to bother. And so in terms of tonight, there's just nothing doing for you. But again, pleasant evening. Once again, Jan just keeps himself to himself, gets roaring drunk, and takes himself off to his private room to sleep off the effects of the drink. You all turn in at various points, sort of up to midnight. Wake up the following morning. Again, the sun is out. It's a beautiful. It is going to be yet again another beautiful day.
Is that a silver shilling? Is that?
Yeah.
Silver shilling. Not cheap, all of this, is it?
Sadly not. The kind of, it's exactly the same as the previous day. You come down, you have your breakfast, you sit around, you go and you load up your things into your coach. The coach is kind of brought out into the courtyard. The guards milling around and just keeping a general watch on everything. Another one of the coaches, the Imperial Expressway coach, heads off. Very crisply just after sort of 8 o'clock in the morning. Jan kind of makes appearance between about 8:15 and 8:30. Sits down, bleary-eyed, tucks in some food, grabs his gear, staggers out to the coach, yells at you to join him, and then sets off. And again, you continue traveling north. You go through Seedlung at some point in the probably in the early afternoon. It's a fairly decent-sized town, actually. As you can see, it's marked. It's probably not as big as Ubersreich, but it's certainly bigger than the places that you've just recently travelled through. The coach doesn't stop. It kind of continues to barrel through and continue onwards. As you head, you're heading northwards, and Jan kind of every so often kind of sort of says, we should be there in an hour, we should be there in 2 hours, etc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's about 2 hours out, according to Jan. Wherever on your left-hand side, you notice that there are a bunch of tents.
Any
That
banners?
kind of starts to slow the coach down a little bit.
Was it like large group of tents, merchants, banners, anything like that?
Banners, Altdorf Army. It is a fairly large group of tents. You can see.
I'm assuming we haven't passed the.
Gone.
I'm assuming we haven't passed any tracks of any army travelling north, so they must be heading south.
Yeah, and you can see as you kind of approach, there are spearmen patrolling around the perimeter and inside. There are, various points you can see, maybe on the back of wagons and things, what are clearly rifle-toting sharpshooters.
Serious.
As the coach kind of approaches, a man in a big sort of helm with a beautiful red plume kind of just stands there, and he He kind of holds out his hand and goes, "Hello there, coach. A moment of your time, if I may."
I kind of ride up and give him a nod. Is that ostrich?
No.
Looks pretty good to me.
Funny, he kind of looks at you.
I'm assuming the plume on his hat.
Yeah, no. He's kind of. You can see the cogs in his head going, "What a weird question to ask me." And the coach kind of slows. He says, "Any of you healers, by any chance?"
I look to Elgast and kind of shrug. We've seen an injury or two.
We're not professional healers, if that's what you're asking.
Closed a wound or two in my time, yeah.
Well, our own healer seems to have had a little bit of a misfortune. And as he says that, his eyes kind of turn, and you can see a soldier currently scrubbing out the latrines, like cleaning out some latrine buckets. And the sergeant that you're talking to kind of shakes his head. You familiar with pistol shot?
I'm familiar enough that I know I don't want to be on the end of one.
Any good at dealing with somebody that was on the end of one?
I've seen one or two, and I know you need to take as much fabric out as you can. Got to get that cloth out. Going to get infected otherwise.
Well, would you? We're at a loss. I've got nobody here. Unfortunately, the army surgeon is the one that has the problem with the gunshot, with the pistol wound, and he's not very good at telling us how to deal with it, and he won't let any of the men near it. He seems to want to call us all bloody idiots.
Did he happen to trip and fall on his own pistol?
No, but
I'm looking at the guy in the tree saying, "Training incident."
Yeah, Fritzold over there, idiot, was bit. Let's just say we've taken him off pistolier duty, and he's on the latrines for a while. Aren't you, Fritzold? And you hear this? Yes, Sergeant. Sorry, Sergeant. Didn't mean it, Sergeant. God, this is shit, Sergeant.
I'm looking at Elgast again. I say, "What do you reckon? Do you want to give me a hand? We'll see what we can do."
Yeah, might as well.
No
Can't be any
guarantees.
worse than what happened to Thomas.
Well, very true. No guarantees, but we could have a look.
Oh, well, anything.
The sergeant has talked us through it.
To be honest, you're the first coach that has chosen to stop this morning. So anything that you can do would be very, very grateful.
I'll look to Jan and say, "Have we got half an hour or so?"
Jan just sits there, languishes in the sun. You know, he's unbuttoned his shirt, little grey hairs sticking out. And he kind of looks up and take all the time you want.
I think he's still hungover.
Tell you what, bit of hair of the dog for the driver there, and I'm sure we won't mind taking a look.
Well, I'm sure we can. That's another little favour I might ask of you as well. We're running a little bit out of black powder and trail rations. Are you heading north?
We're heading north, yes, but we don't have any black
Are
powder.
we
That's what you're
Copenhagen?
asking. Probably.
Which
Where,
is
where did you say?
Bogenhaven,
Number 6.
Yeah.
It's on our way, but we're not looking to stop long. We've got business in Altdorf.
No, I appreciate it. I'm just wondering if you'd be able to deliver a message to the quartermaster in Bogenhaven as you pass through. Fairly obvious.
Hearing that, I'm straight off this.
Happy days.
Yeah. Certainly. So I'm a registered messenger here at usual rates.
Yes, of course.
Thank you. I'll be happy to deliver it to. Who did you say?
The Outdoor Quartermaster.
I'm kind of prodding
Certainly.
Kay in the ribs. He's all right. What's it on about?
Wonderful. And I'll take the letter off him. Exchange of coins. One way, of course.
Yep.
And
Small purse goes into your hand.
Thank you. I'll make sure they get this as fast as possible, really. When we get there, they will get it.
I wonder if there's ever been. Let's have a look. There must be a book, probably one of the older systems, that actually gives you the rates for messengers. There must be. I'll have it.
It's probably a few pence a mile or something, isn't it?
Probably is. Yeah, it's probably a few D a mile. It won't be a huge amount. I mean, you're traveling 10 hours a stop, and from where you are is going to be.
It's 1,000 miles, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's probably what would you say?
1,000 miles.
Yeah.
at least probably 4 or 5, I would say.
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
Yeah.
I'm sure I read something somewhere at some point about messenger charges.
Yeah, I think it's in the book. Okay, so the sergeant kind of calls over somebody else and he says, show these two gentlemen to let's get a name for him, shall we? To Gosport. Aye, he's in a bad mood. Yes, show him to Gosport. Gentlemen, follow me. And this kind of just spear carrying, army uniformed man just kind of marches you up to a tent. Not quite in the centre of the camp, but not too far away. And he kind of pokes his head inside and he says something, and there's this kind of begrudging kind of send them in. And you kind of push inside, and it's a well established tent. There is a cot at one end with a man on it, probably slightly older than most of the men that you've seen. The army surgeon, and you can see that there is in his chest there is quite a mass of red rags kind of stuck on his chest, and you doctors then?
Close as you're going to get, and that's still leaking.
I know. It hurts like bloody hell as well.
I'm looking around. Does he clearly have any supplies set up or anything like that?
Yeah, there's plenty. There's all the stuff that you need, like proper bandages, sanitary, cleaning stuff and everything.
Quick out of character question. Kath, how's your heal skill doing these days?
42.
42. You are marginally better than I am.
I thought you were better. Right.
Do you want me to play nurse or?
I'll do it.
Since the two of you are doing it, whoever rolls, it's a challenging test, but you can have +10 to the roll. So that might make it. Yeah. That doesn't make it average, does it? Because that's +20. So challenging with a +10 bonus.
It's a 50-50 chance.
50-50 chance.
And if the surgeon can basically give us instruction, we've got expert advice as well.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
That's
true.
I mean, it's still +10, so it's not making it any easier.
I thought per trained person you could get +10 up to a maximum of your intelligence bonus, I guess.
I think it's your in bonus, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. All right. +20 then. Good point.
I'll say, well, he's got the slightly steadier hands, and I've got the softer ones, so.
Just get on with it.
With a grin on my face.
Bloody soldiers and their toys. Just get on with it.
Right. I'll go over and take a look and see what I can do.
It's a mess. Pistol shot in the stomach, definitely still bleeding. Pistol shot is still in there. You're going to have to dig around. He's going to have to put something in his mouth to kind of spike down while you're digging around with it.
I'll grab a leather belt.
Yeah, but not beyond your skill. But like I said, it's a 50-50 chance. Well,
Yeah.
if you're 40, it's going to be 60, isn't it? 60-40 chance.
Yeah.
So just give me a heal roll, challenging with plus 20. So actually, you can drop it down one level, I think, to average.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I'll tell him. I think you've got even odds, but that's even odds with us. Without, you're not going to make the week.
He kind of grits and nods.
I am going to
You
reroll.
dig the blade in, and he goes,
Yeah, I'm rerolling.
Algas. I hold him down.
and
That's
then he
better.
kind of, and then after a few seconds, he kind of passes out. But you kind of watch as Elgas pulls the shot out, and then quickly pads the thing and wraps the bandage round and throws some alcohol on it. Takes a swig for himself, throws some alcohol on it. And after a few minutes, the surgeon kind of comes to, and he's like, he kind of looks down. And he goes, "That's not a bad job."
Thank you.
I hand him the alcohol.
Hands it back. Not a bad job at all. Do you mind helping me onto my feet?
I don't know. Help me out.
Be careful.
Takes you back out, and literally outside the door is the sergeant, who's kind of pacing, and every so often glances over at the guy that's now cleaning some more latrines, and the surgeon comes out, and Sergeant. Gosper, good to see you on your feet. Yes. Thanks to these two gentlemen. Pay them? Yes, yes. And he kind of goes into his pouch and he says, "There you go, gentlemen, for your troubles and for the delays on your journey."
Thank you.
There's 6 shillings.
Is that all?
That's all.
I couldn't help myself to a couple of them fresh bandages, can I?
Yeah, sure. He says, "Don't take too many. We're running a bit low on supplies."
Yeah, only a couple. Dangerous roads.
A few too many accidents, Sergeant? And the sergeant kind of looks down and shuffles his feet a little bit. Young uns, he says as he turns his back and goes inside. A couple of minutes later, he comes out with, give yourself 2 bandages, and I think it's 2 healing poultices.
Okay, very nice.
That'll do.
I think they're slightly separate.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll add those. I am going to be upping my heal skill, by the way, but
Yeah, I plan on
I
it.
haven't had a chance yet.
And he'll give you 2 healing tonics.
One apiece.
Yeah.
Which I think are just healing potions, effectively, but I think you can use them. If you use them in the same scene that you've been wounded, they heal 1d10 wounds from memory, but that's it. That's the only time you can use them.
Healing draft. If you have more than 0 wounds, recover toughness bonus wounds immediately. Maximum 1 per encounter. Cool.
Yeah. They're useful for people who are, down and stuff. You just feed them a draft and gets them back up on the feet. So, I think they did a good job, lads. Ever thought of a career in the army?
Nah, my job's usually the other side of it.
He looked at you. He looked at your shiny buckles on your shoes, your hat. Hail Sigmar.
Hail Sigma.
I'm sure it won't be the last time I serve.
Yeah, we're all God-fearing here. You'll be glad to know. No cultists, no chaos worshippers.
I didn't doubt it for a second.
Good. Well, I don't want to keep you any longer on your journey. And at that point, the sergeant starts pushing you gently towards your coach as he's twigged that you're an inquisitor, you're a witch hunter. So the rest of the day goes by. As you kind of get into the coach and he clicks off, Lanwin, you in particular, You hear Jan mutter under his kind of under his breath, and he sort of goes, "And to think folk in Ubersreich already suspect you lot of being too amenable to invaders from the capital. What is this world coming to?"
Hearing this, I was Jan. End of the day, he was wounded. He needed help. It don't matter who it was, and my friends helped him,
And more to the point, you made
well,
a penny out of it.
and they paid for it. Yeah.
You got an ale, didn't you?
yeah, but have you tasted army ale?
Yeah, fair point.
He says he takes a big swig.
It's not,
Off his mouth.
it's not stopping you though, is it?
No, definitely not. You arrive a couple of hours later. Yeah, probably closer to 7 o'clock actually, or just after 7 rather than your expected sort of 6 o'clock. The Loopholed Inn. This one is isolated, nowhere really near any sort of major settlement as far as you can tell. You know, you're quite a way out of Seedlung. Even the army camp is a couple of hours back to the south of where you are. This is a Cannonball Express coach house.
Seafood.
And Yannis kind of goes, "Well, gentlemen, the good news, since you are patrons of the Cannonball Express, your rooms are free."
Oh, very nice.
Unfortunately, meals not so free, but room accommodation part of your fare. Obviously, we'd like to be able to extend that to every coaching inn that you stay in, but unfortunately, that's how these things work. Some of the coaching houses are affiliated with different coaching, and they get the perks, and we don't. So, have fun, enjoy yourself. Same time tomorrow, gentlemen. Try not to be too obvious if you come across any more Outdorfians here today. Not saying there'll be a problem this far north of Ubersreich, but
Point taken.
So, bedding's free, food we pay for, and ale's free.
not only is bedding free, you get the private rooms.
Oh,
Damn straight.
Much to the so what you gather is that sort of there's probably 10 maybe so the Loophole Inn is a very heavily fortified coaching inn. There is, I mean, one of the things that you notice as you were getting closer to it, you could see way before you could see the main buildings, sort of just on the horizon, you could see what appeared to be a tower. And as you get closer, the tower is actually attached to this stone inn and stone walls. It stands probably some 30, 40 feet high, certainly above the 3 stories of the Loophole Inn. At the very top, under sort of a straw cover, you can see a pair of crossbowmen that are kind of up there. And then surrounding this is a stone fortified wall rather than a wooden wall that you saw at the previous coaching inn. Solid, thick iron gate, well kept. Signs of aging on the walls, for sure. Some signs of old damage. The walls themselves are pretty well manned. There's probably double the number of guards here than you saw at the Five Oaks. Overall, you get that real strong sense of safety and security when you kind of come in and the gates are immediately closed behind you. But that's the other thing. The gates are not open. They're opened as you approach, closed as soon as you go through.
So what are they trying to keep out here?
Seems more beastman.
aye.
Do any of us know why it would be particularly dangerous here, or
I think
You are so first and foremost,
mean, surely someone like Lanwin might have travelled these roads before, or
Do you
I'm
want me
not sure
to?
Landon's hadn't been this far north.
No, but I'll just chat around with the guards and whatever, see if I can pick up.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe do have a bit of a chat and see why it's.
So what you discover as you kind of chat amongst the guards here today, there are actually two groups of guards. They're kind of on a crossover period. One group is due to depart the following day. So actually there's probably 5, maybe 6 more guards than there would normally be. The coach, who have we just lost?
Rob.
Rob, yeah.
Yeah. The coaching house's fortifications are quite old and have been there for probably 50 or 60 years, and go back to previous times of troubles. The guards kind of tell you that these days, in reality, this is over fortified for what happens. No real greenskins. A few beastmen raids, but actually because of the heavy fortifications of the place, beastmen tend to ignore it as well, because the walls are probably close to 10 foot high, crenellated. This big tower with at least 2 archers in it makes it very, very difficult to assail the place. And so the guards kind of, they tell you it's a bit overkill, really, for modern times. But where the shit hit the fan, this would be a good place to be because it is very secure.
What does a populace look like then? I mean, it's fairly well fortified. Is there a decent, it's obviously on a trade route or something. Is there a decent clientele there? Or
There are a few people here. Again, mostly traveling with the coaches. There's a coach that you find out is heading southwards down towards Sidelung. There's another coach that's heading northwards up to Bogenhaven. Both of those coaches appear full. One is a party of priests, Sigmarites, that are heading down to Siedlung to spread the good word of the Lord, Sigmar. They're pretty stuffy, and they'll drink for sure, but not the kind of clientele that Kay's really looking for.
wouldn't
The
want
group
to.
heading to Bogenhaven are a little bit snooty. Let's see.
Where's Bogenhaven?
Bogenhaven is number 6, so you end up going through.
Oh, right, pardon. Yep.
The group is a family, minor nobility, as far as you can tell, a fairly well-off sort of minor trading family that's gained some fame and notoriety in Bogenhaven. They keep themselves to themselves. They've hired out the other half of the private rooms, and Kay, you get a glimpse of the head of the house, the man, if you like. I shouldn't say that these days, but patriarchal society. He's probably in his late 30s. Very well dressed, very well presented. I'm kind of picturing sort of a rather, really immaculately kind of curled hairstyle, very tailored suit, like light beige coloured suit, and a frilly shirt, possibly a lawyer or something along those lines that's made a bit of a name for himself. And he comes down briefly to converse with. You can start to pick out the coachmen. They all kind of know each other. And although Jan tends to drink on his own and eat on his own, you'll often, through the night, you'll see him get up and go and sit with somebody and have a drink with them and go off and back to himself. So you can see that he's talking to a coachman, and the coachman is obviously telling him something. There are 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. The boy is the youngest. 2 girls, kind of similar age, maybe a year or so apart, and the mother. and 2 servants.
Hmm. Okay. I'll have to go and talk to the head of the house, I think. Introduce myself.
Yeah, I was about to say similar. If they're minor nobility, I suppose I better introduce myself.
Okay. Finishes conversation. Turns, goes over towards the bar, has a brief conversation with the barkeep, who nods, and you sort of say, "Yes, yes, Mr. Strowit, we can certainly arrange for breakfast at 6 a.m. For your party, and we can definitely make sure that you are awoken in time for breakfast." Here you go. Thank you very much. And he kind of turns and he starts to head towards the stairs.
Heading out in the morning, are you?
Yes.
Or are you heading back up north?
Oh well, yes. Our business is concluded down in Ubersreich, and we're taking a leisurely drive back up. Yes.
Oh, we just come from Ubersreich ourselves. What business did you have down there?
I represented a few people that had put themselves into a small predicament or two.
There's a few people in that situation in Ubersreich at the moment.
There are many people in that situation in Ubersreich. Being a young Freud supporter kind of puts one in that predicament, as far as the Altdorfs are concerned.
Does he seem sympathetic to the young Freud?
Give me
What he's saying?
an intuition test. Challenge it.
I'll try.
And with a bit of a wink, I'll say, "Can you tell us who you were working with while you were down there?"
Not quite. I got a no, but
Yeah, you can't tell. He's very neutral in what he's given away, and he's kind of guarded as well because obviously he's unsure. Well, I work for myself, but certainly I had occasion to consult with a couple of fellow legal representatives in Ubersreich. Yes.
oh, who was the lady who got us off of our predicament?
She's one of my people. Give me 2 seconds.
Ilsa, no, that's a road warden. It was blinking egg. Asana Winandus.
I'll just say we've had the pleasure of working with Asana and Andas from time to time.
Ah, yes, Miss Winandus, a very capable and rather straight lace solicitor. Yes, I had the opportunity to consult with her. Also had the opportunity to stand opposite her. That was an interesting couple of days.
Oh, how did you fare? I hear
Not
she
as
has
well as
quite
I
the reputation.
Not as well as I thought I would. She's very good at getting people commuted sentences. Very fair.
Indeed, yes. Our dealings have been very fair and forthright with her.
Indeed. Well, apologies, madam, gentlemen. My family await, and we do have an early start in the morning. So, if you wouldn't mind, and he kind of,
All I would offer is that we are travelling north ourselves. If you wish to travel in convoy, it may be safer.
We can offer some protection with our friends.
Oh.
Accidents can happen on the road, you know. I think it would be safer if you travel with us.
He looks at you.
I'm looking at you.
Give me
Intimidation.
the opposite. Yeah, give me an intimidation check.
Shit, really?
Yeah, that's how he's taking it.
What are we doing? Challenging?
Are you really wanting to push this, or should I try and smooth things over? As I give you kind of a bit of a look.
I've just done it, so let me
Give me
get this out of the way.
challenging- give me
Which way?
challenging test. Yeah,
Did
it's a
somebody
very
say
interesting.
intimidation?
Yeah, it was accidental intimidation with that roll.
Hang on. I'm gonna. Hang on.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh,
It's almost like
This is-
saying, "Are you sure you want to leave your shop unattended? It might burn down."
Seeing that this may not have gone down particularly well.
Well, no, actually, he steps back a second and he kind of looks Kay up and down, and then he looks over at you and he goes, "Yes, accidents can happen on the road. Of course they can. Yes, your company would be very well appreciated. And perhaps if you do get me to Boggenhaven and my family Boggenhaven safely, 2 gold crowns."
and I'll just elbow Rembrandt in the side, saying, "See, told you it would work."
We are leaving at 6 a.m., 6:30 in the morning, so I'll expect you ready to go.
Yep, that's fine. We'll just have to make sure we boot what's his face out of bed.
Yeah.
I think that is very fair of you, and I'm sure we'll have an absolutely safe journey. I will do my utmost to protect you and your family.
As he goes up the stairs, he kind of looks over at Kay, looks over his shoulder at Kay, and hurries up, and you see him disappear around the corner of the stairs.
And just as he's going,
Don't
worry, I can entertain the kids.
He rolled -2 successes.
Oh,
He was Ed. Sorry, I missed that.
He rolled -2 successes.
Oh,
So you beat him with a -1 success.
came on a bit strong there, Kay, but it worked out well.
Oh no, the roads are dangerous. There are beastmen here. It came from, I was concerned for his safety.
I know you were, but the tone you use seems slightly wrong. You might want to work on that in future. I think you got the point across then.
That wasn't actually my intention because I feel so shit. I think
No, I know it wasn't, but it was like the way you said it. I'm like, he's going to interpret it that you're veiled threat to him rather
Extorting.
than genuinely telling him it's unsafe.
No. Well, hang on. That would be terrible accidents can happen to children on the road.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that does. Nice. Well, there's the one problem I see with this plan, Kay. We've got to make sure Jan is up.
That's all right. We'll just drag him physically out of bed every morning. I'm okay with that.
Well, we can always prop him up on the wagon. I'm sure one of us can drive.
Maybe somebody could share a bed with him. I'm just going to look up at Ella.
Is there any skill for driving?
Yes, drive.
I am not a driver.
Skill.
I'm a driver.
Oh no, I've got the basic skill in it, 40.
I've got 39 as well. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we could probably.
The base skill will allow you to steer and generally drive the cart, but not in a chase situation.
Yeah. Okay.
You would need at least one advance in that to become properly skilled.
Yeah. You can always wrap Jan in a blanket and stick him in the back, right?
Sorry, I fell asleep.
Yep.
You fell asleep, did you? Am I that boring these days, Dart?
No, it's just I'm really tired.
No worries. We're not going to play for much longer, to be honest. Only
Next
20
one,
minutes.
a couple of days, to be honest.
So, Dave, you're going to remember. Oh, sorry, Rembrandt's going to remember that we've got that when we get to whatever it's called, right?
Boggenhafen.
Boggenhafen, yeah.
Yep.
Because I didn't write it down. And that's
Well,
clearly
we've
your
got
mission.
well, we've got
Point
the
number 6.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we've got another reason to go there anyway. So
Supplies.
quartermaster. Yeah, the quartermaster.
Yeah.
This is
All
good.
roads lead to Bogenhafen, it seems.
So I think for the quartermaster, you were probably given 20 shillings.
Well, Lanwin was.
20 shillings,
Landman
right.
was given 20 shillings, which should make it the equivalent of 1 gold crown.
Lovely,
That
thank
doesn't
you.
ring any bells at all.
What
was
doesn't?
that? The quartermaster.
Oh, the army
Yeah.
was running low on powder.
So
Ah,
they asked us
they asked us
to
to-
pick a letter while we were dealing with the surgeon. They asked for a second
okay.
favour.
I'm sorry.
So I thought I'd mix business with pleasure.
Following morning, you get up. It's probably not as easy for most of you to get up at sort of 5:45 as you were hoping. And it's certainly not easy for you to get Jan up. And you drag him out of bed. I won't say kicking and screaming, but he is definitely not best pleased. But you manage by 6:30 to have your coach ready, you on board the coach, to join the Strowitz family as they depart and head north up the road. The journey north is, you're definitely starting to get into the more wild parts of the empire here. The sort of the small farming communities become less and less on the road as you're traveling. There is more of a sense of urgency from both coach drivers to just go as quickly as possible without breaking the coach, without breaking the horses. You've been driving sort of about 4 hours, 5 hours. Which coach is in the front? You or them? They're on Imperial Expressway.
I think probably us, I guess.
Yeah, it would seem.
Well, I mean, our coach could be in front and I can be riding at the back.
Yeah, I was about to suggest that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You round
Sense.
the corner in the road. You're passing through not a super heavy forested area, but you're certainly through an area of somewhat restricted vision down the road. And so, at this point, Langman, if you're still riding on the top,
Yeah,
do you have a bow?
I do.
Yeah, so Jan will really, will tell you to really get your bow just in case, and you can see that he shifts the blunderbuss from the side across his knee, and reins around one arm, other hand on blunderbuss, ready to use it if something happens.
Seeing this, I'm going to keep a sharp eye out at the forest tree line.
Yeah, as you come round a corner, ahead of you, as you kind of travel around this corner, the forest clears, the land becomes a rough terrain of scattered shrubs. A man sits stooped back upon his horse. As he hears your approach, he starts into a more alert posture and spurs the horse towards you in a loping trot, blocking the path ahead. Dressed in fine clothes, but inelegantly dishevelled. Ruffled shirt is covered in yellow stains, tricorn hat askew, drooping black goatee besmirched with vomit. A domino mask that should presumably be covering his eyes has been pushed up to the rim of his hat. As you get closer, he pulls out a pair of large bore pistols, points them at you. What, this bit now? He mumbles something incomprehensibly to himself. Stop, your coach. Stop and deliver all of your valuables and stuff.
Can we just ride straight through him? Don't stop. Just keep going.
Jan
Ramming
kind of
speed.
grabs the reins and starts to rein in. He's like, I can't bloody run him over, fool.
I would.
I'm going to casually knock an arrow to my bow without as we get closer.
All right.
I kind of, yeah, I was about to say, keep an eye out. I'm going to ride up a little bit to catch up as I see this.
As you go to knock an arrow, he goes, I said stop! Bang! Pistol goes off.
Oh,
And as you're kind of riding, you're like, why is Jan stopping? And the coach behind you has stopped. And so you kind of ride up, and just as you kind of get level with the rear coach's horses, you hear the distinct sound of a pistol firing.
Okay, I'm going to spur my horse on. Okay.
As you spur your horse on and round, Landman, what are you going to do? What's everybody else going to do?
what was the shot? Was it aiming in the air? Was it a random
It was
fire?
aiming at you.
I'm going to get out the carriage with my sword.
I'm going to find my
See
bow
what's
at him.
happening.
Yeah. All right. So hang on. Okay, so all right, so 1 second. Let me just get this. So he fires at you. I need to do this properly. I didn't do this properly. So let's see how good he is.
Sounds like he's more of a danger to himself than us at the moment, unless he's got friends who are going to jump out of the trees, right?
Yeah, that's the bit I'm concerned about.
Yeah. I want to make sure that we're scanning the tree lines either side, especially if they start encroaching on the road.
I'm waiting for the second shot to go, then he's going to go down.
He sounded very drunk.
That's why I was getting out with the sword, just in case there is somebody that's going to come in.
Bang. Whether you didn't hear it or you didn't, he shot so wide that it didn't go anywhere near you, you don't see any sign of impact from the pistol ball. So, Lanwin, what do you want to do?
I'm going to shoot my bow at him.
Shoot your bow at him then.
I feel a little bit like, yeah.
I'm not sure that was loaded properly.
I've got nothing to target, so I'll just fire.
Yeah, just fire. Just roll. Roll. He can't dodge you anyway because he's not at point blank range, and he doesn't have a shield. So,
and it's challenging, isn't it?
And it's challenging, yes.
Oh, fumble!
Roll the fumble.
No, poor Jan.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So you go to stand up to get a better bead and a better, kind of stretch on the bow, and your ankle cocks and twists, and you go and loose the arrow down between the two horses in the front into the ground.
I've torn my muscle.
Just going to look over him and say, "You're about both as good as each other."
So you've heard the pistol shot, and again, you haven't heard any impact or anything. You haven't heard any of your friends cry out. But you're about halfway. As I say, you're level with the horses in the rear. So the carriage that you have is probably maybe 3 or 4 yards in front of you, and then it's the carriage, your horses, and whatever's going on in front, which you don't quite have a good view of.
Okay, I would like to pull my clubs. I charge towards and try and knock him out of his. Is he on his horse or?
He is on his horse. Yes.
I'll try and knock him out the saddle.
Give me a ride roll.
A ride roll. I don't need to make a ride roll because I'm a rough rider.
You're a rough rider. Yes, you do not need to make a ride roll. Okay.
Sounds like a ZZ Top song.
All right. Okay. Give me just roll your club attack. Challenge him.
Okay. Obviously, I can't target anything.
No, that's deliberate. This isn't designed to be a on-screen map.
Can I just shout out, "Get off your horse, you silly ass, you're clearly too drunk."
You can do that, yeah, as you stick your head out the window, one window, and out the other side...
Out the other side, I stick my head.
Well, no,
Hello.
because the door's been opened and Elgas has jumped out with his pistol, sword in hand.
Sword.
And as you kind of do that, we'll come to that in a second. That's really good.
That's nice.
As you kind of do that, you kind of pull the door in as Rembrandt goes galloping past you. Then you throw the door open, jump out, and kind of run around. You won't be able to get into melee with him, but you can get round to the front near your horses. And you're in time to see Rembrandt come run past him and just go across the head with his club.
I'm not trying to kill him.
No, I know you're not.
I
I'm
think
not
you might
making
do that.
a call. I am going to be really mean to him and give him that. Although technically I don't need to. Ooh, interesting. At the last minute, he goes to pull the horse away. There's a bit of a delayed reaction, but it's not really? Okay. And you club him across the head, and he goes, oof! And he will take 12, 14. You hit him.
Like baseball.
You hit him for basically you club him across the head for 10 points of damage. Ella stuck her head out the window, yelled at something. Kay's yelling something. You've kind of jumped out and kind of followed in the path of Rembrandt to see him kind of ride just to the side of this guy and club him one. Up above you, you hear Lanwing go, ah! And you hear a twang of a bow, and you watch as an arrow comes flying down between the two horses, which kind of skitishly move out to one side. Yeah. And then you hear the next bang as a pistol shot in your direction, Elgast. So let's see what happens.
And he blows Elgast's head off.
And again, bang! And you kind of... The stats for this character make no sense to me. You brace yourself as a thing, and you can see the spurt of fire come out. And what's interesting for you, Rembrandt, is there's definitely nothing coming out of that pistol. And for a second he goes, kicks his horse, turns it, and starts to run off into the woods.
Don't follow.
How far is the tree line?
So basically it becomes a chase.
I don't want to chase him too far into the woods. Well, I'm not going to chase him into the woods.
Right, let's just have a quick look. I need to find the chase rules. I haven't done a chase before. This is quite exciting. He says.
Yeah. Depending which way he's running, I'll try and intercept. If he's not running my way, there's no way I'm going to catch him.
No, he's going to divert straight away from the general mass, across the road and into the tree line on the other side. And
I'm just impressed the guys stood after getting battered that hard.
He had six hit points left.
He didn't fall out the horse. That's the bit I'm surprised at.
No.
Yeah, I know. Must be half decent in the saddle.
He's half decent in the saddle, yeah.
I bet that's why Zed was looking at his stat line and going, these are mainly related to other activities, not got lots of talents and perks and other stuff.
So essentially, to avoid him hitting a tree line and getting away from him, we can have one round of chase. So the way this would work is everybody would actively moving would roll a pursuit test. So he would be ride, you would be ride, Elgas would be athletics. Distance is based on the initial starting distance modified by the the lowest success level of the pursued and the highest success level of the pursuers is compared. The difference between these added to the distance of the pursued if the pursued won and subtracted. And so he gets a bit of a he would get effectively a lead on you. So he would start at distance 4, which means you would need to roll at least 5 success levels on your ride and him to only get 1 success level for you to stand a chance of catching him. Otherwise, he's in the trees. So it's up to you whether you want to have a go or whether you just want to let him go.
Given that he's already got a pace on me, I think, and no one's screaming and dead, I think I will pull up and make sure I'm keeping a look around.
Why would you have a pace on
The
you?
hell was all that about?
You just whacked him with a club, so wouldn't you be both in the same?
Well, maybe I'm going this way and he's heading the other.
Yeah, so you've gone past him and he's turned and started galloping away. So you have to turn around, bring your horse round to go and chase him. But let's do something.
I mean, actually, if
he gets a minus,
he gets to roll. He could get a minus, couldn't he?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
actually, I will. Yeah. I'll give it a go. But
Okay.
if he's pulling away, I'm going to pull up.
So, Elgas, do you want to try and pursue on foot because you become the slowest of the pursuers in that sense because you can't keep up with the horse?
Yeah, I'm going to run just in case he falls off.
All
Or
right.
whatever
So-
reason. I'll run forward.
Can you make an athletics test? And it is challenging. And can you make a challenging ride test, please? And he will make a challenging ride test as well.
I'm going to make my way back to the other carriage to make sure the family is all right.
Okay.
And just to show that we're showing that we have value for being with them.
Ella's going to just get comfy back in the
Yeah,
car.
that's a terrible roll. I'm going to re-roll it, I think.
Okay.
No, I can't. It doesn't say I can. I can just add 1 SL or I can take a dark deed. That's a bit weird. I'm not taking a dark deed, clearly, but
Yeah.
it won't
That
let
is
me
weird.
re-roll it.
You got 1 success level then, right? According to
Yeah.
this?
Well, I could add 1 using a fortune point. It won't let me re-roll, so I'll just add 1.
That's strange. 2 success levels. So
I mean, I could just roll again, of course.
yeah, you could just roll again. Yeah.
Oh, I got invoice.
or not.
Here's what it is.
It is.
Okay, so the lowest success level of the pursued, yeah, and the highest success level of the pursuers is compared. So the highest success level of the pursuers is actually going to be Elgast on foot, and he's going to get 3 success levels, and it's compared to okay. The difference between difference. Okay, so that's 3 success levels. He got -4, giving you a total of 7
Elgas is going to
success
just
levels.
body tackle him out off his
So
horse.
basically, Elgas, you watch as like Rembrandt gabs past him, gives him a right crack, and you expect him to fall off, and he does kind of stagger back a bit. As he comes forwards, he just goes bang and just kind of shoots at you, and nothing seems to happen. And then he kind of looks a bit startled and kicks his horse. But as he kicks his horse, you're kind of ready for it. And you immediately run forwards. And just as he clears the road and just starts to hit the edge of the trees, you manage to somehow diagonally cut across, leap, and just enough of a shove to send him flying off the horse and into the dirt with an oof. And he just kind of lies there, splayed, like semi-dazed.
I'm going to shout, "Don't kill him, Elgast! That pistol wasn't properly loaded."
And catch the horse. We get a free horse out of this.
We get some
I
pistols out
can't
of this.
do both. Yeah, well, I'm thinking pistols, horse. I've got manacles on me, so they're going on him. Possible bounty.
That's handy. I can ride a horse.
I hadn't thought about it.
Don't
Yeah.
kill me! Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me! Please, don't hurt me! Oh, what am I looking for?
Can I, if this seems slightly under control, can I ride the other horse down and grab it?
Yes, you can. Yeah, give me a ride roll. I will make you make this ride roll.
Yeah, I'm going to disarm this guy on the floor from the pistols and put manacles on him.
Okay, you can ride the horse down. Give me an animal handling check.
Jesus.
Or animal, whatever it is.
Animal
Care.
care? Oh, there's charm animal, actually.
Charm animal at average.
Hey.
Nice.
Nice.
Critical
A crit.
success.
Your best
You
friend.
actually you cut the horse off, use your horse to slow it down, grab the reins, turn round, and very quickly, some soothing words, very quickly calm the horse down. The man laying on the floor, sobbing his heart out, is drunk.
Obviously.
He is scruffy, average height, light build, prominent cheekbones. His hair is black, falls over his eyes in a messy fringe. You can see that under his cape he's wearing a rather elaborate outdoor military dress uniform that has become rather threadbare and tatty. His boots appear ill-fitting and unkept, and his hat, his bicon hat, rather tragic and old.
Either a deserter or he's stolen the clothes.
Yep.
Please, don't heal me. Don't. I'm a washout. I'm a useless man. My life is just. Don't. I deserve everything you give. I was told to ride down the road and wait for you here, and to hold you up and to put the fear of highwaymen or highway robbery, put the fear of highway robbery up you, so that you would maybe turn around and go home.
Who hired you to do that? And who were you supposed to stop? There's two carriages.
I was supposed to stop you. Man on horse. Yes, I was supposed to stop you.
Okay.
I don't know the
Who
name of
hired
the
you?
man. I don't know the name of the man that hired me. All I can tell you
Right.
is he was from Ubersreich, shortish fellow with red hair and a bushy moustache.
That sound familiar?
I don't know that it does.
I don't think I remember anyone like that. Certainly no one described as that anyway.
No, I
Probably
don't.
Rolf.
No, Rolf's a kid.
Yeah,
What
Ross, the
was it?
13-year-old.
No, that's
That's
Ruth.
Ruddy.
Rudy.
Oh, Rudy.
Oh, it's Rudy. It was Rolf.
There's so many moving parts. I just need to double check. I don't know that you've met. Did you meet somebody called Rolf?
Was
Oh,
somebody
hang on.
just called the
No,
name.
he was the one that Kay's heard of. Did you
Hang
actually
on.
meet him? Or?
No. Have I heard of Rolf?
There's Ruddy you'd heard of. Really
Yeah.
sorry.
Rudy, yeah.
But he was hanging around with Rolf, wasn't he?
No, Rolf's the one that your beggar contacted in Uberstrike knew
No, that's
about. That was
Ruprecht.
That was Ruprecht, yeah.
That was Ruprecht.
too many with ours.
Too many people with ours.
Okay.
Rolf was
No.
used today.
Then you do not know the name. Well, certainly Elgas, you do not know the name.
I can't find it in my notes, but I'm generally shit at taking notes.
I don't. Don't know where you don't know. The description doesn't make any sense to you. Definitely not.
Right. Okay. I'm going to disarm him of everything he's got.
That's fine.
Well, any weapons, pistols, I'll put in my belt. If he's got a sword or anything, I'll take that off him, and I'll manacle his hands behind his back, walking back to the
He offers
garage.
0 resistance. He is drunk.
Yeah, that's fine.
He has 2 pistols. Bizarrely,
Any ammo?
he has no shot or any extra black powder.
I thought you were going to say that. Right. Okay.
Not that we know how to use them anyway. So
Yes. That's why I'm waiting for the XP. Next career, I get it.
So what are you doing with him?
I'm having a look at. I'm having a look at his split head first. Is he going to die?
No, he's just going to have a big lump on it. He might have a bit of a concussion. You've heard some people go to sleep after taking a really bad head bang on the head and never wake up don't wake up the following morning. You're probably not enough of a healer to know if that's applicable to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think at that point, as you kind of manacle him, drag him, I guess you're going to drag him to your wagon and take him as a genuine highway robberyman and hand him over, possibly at the next inn, because that's what you would probably do. We'll call it an evening.
Cool.
I'm a little bit. I feel like something's missing there. So the thing says, if captured, he breaks down into self-pity and sobs, shares his life story, but his life story is not detailed anywhere.
You're just going to make it up.
I know.
Clearly joined the army. It didn't work out.
Yeah, exactly.
Deserter, probably.
But his dress uniform is wearing, not.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah. He might just be a pisshead noble.
Yep.
Who's lost it all gambling or drinking or whatever. We'll see if Zed can find anything in the books. I always find, like, especially D&D modules, that's why I tend to never run them, is that stuff's all over the place. It's just like...
Yeah, that's where your little little stickers thing with, on it. Tabs, that's the word I was looking for.
He definitely doesn't load his pistols, though, because he's pissed.
Well, I don't think he was just trying to scare us, wasn't he? I don't think he ever wanted to kill us.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he does this kind of thing very often as well, because otherwise he wouldn't do it shit-faced.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. It doesn't make sense to me. But actually, it kind of does make sense. So what he will tell you, I'll wrap up with this, that he has fallen on hard times. That once upon a time he had a good working relationship with a contact in Ubersreich who would tip him off to easy pickings on the local routes. But recently, the last time they met up, Max, that's his name, Max Drensler, was told by this guy who he doesn't know the name of, that was a shortish fellow with red hair and a bushy moustache, to step down his operation until further notice. And as he's lying there in the mud, kind of nursing his head, and you're shackling him, and he sort of says, I wish I'd listened to him, because look where it's got me. So he wasn't sent for you specifically, but he was doing something he was expressly told by a contact, namely a shortish fellow with red hair and a bushy moustache, had told him to stand down.
So Rembrandt's not letting on to these people who are escorting that those pistols weren't loaded.
Okay, that's fine. They will be very, very grateful that you stopped a potential robbery especially since they're a noble family with a fair few coins on them. So we will call it a night there and reconvene on the journey northwards next week.
Okay.
Indeed.
So as you will pull into, we will continue the journey north next week.
Yeah.
Hope you had fun.
Yeah.
That was
Thank you.
brilliant as
Yeah.
always.
I got to ride a horse.
You got to ride a proper horse. So that's the other thing. You do now have a second horse.
Mine.
And you have a
Mine.
pair of pistols that,
Yeah.
although you don't have shot for, there's nothing to stop you seeing if you can get shot at the next coaching place or the next town that you pass through. So that's all
Yeah.
fine.
Oh, we could sell them for lots of money.